I always find comfort in the routine. The clean click of my apartment door as I lock it, the hiss of rain on my umbrella, the predictable stream of damp commuters pushing into the subway station just before dusk. Thursday nights in particular are my favorite, my personal pause before Friday's chaos and the weekend's expectation of being social. Even the regular squeal of the incoming train, the one I always catch at 6:12 p.m., sounds like a weird lullaby after a day of clients and screens. But tonight, when I stepped onto the platform, something was just off. It didn't hit me right away. Maybe it was the echo under the tiles. It felt emptier, like they'd closed the far entrance and nobody told me. No teen boys with skateboards, no ladies selling knockoff umbrellas, not even the regular old guy with his crossword. I shrugged it off. Rain can keep people away, right? Still, as the train pulled in, I caught this strange note in the chime, like it was scrambled, half a pitch too high, or recorded through a sock. I actually looked up, waiting for my stop's name, but it rolled by on the display, blurry and slightly misspelled. Queenspor instead of Queensport. But, tiredness plays tricks. I slid into my usual seat, back corner near the door. The lights overhead kept flickering, not enough to be scary, exactly, but enough to be annoying, like someone couldn't decide whether to leave them on or off. Only a handful of other people were scattered through the car, a mom with a stroller, a guy in a puffy coat, 2 college kids whispering about podcasts. I looked at them, and for a split second I swear I caught everyone throwing these sharp, quick glances at each other, like they were all waiting for something bad to happen. As we rattled deeper underground, I let my head fall against the cool metal of the wall. That's when I realized how quiet it had gotten. No game show music leaking from headphones, no kid crying. Just the soft, sticky sound of rainwater sliding along the train's roof. I was about to scroll my phone when, with a low groan, the train slowed, then jolted to a dead stop. Not the kind of stop where the brakes whine and people swear. This was weirdly gentle, so soft it barely felt real, like I'd imagined it happened at all. The lights flicked again. A cold edge crawled up my arms. We waited. A few passengers peered down the car but didn't get up. Everybody was pretending at first that it was normal. After a minute, the intercom crackled to life, but the conductor's voice, I don't know how to put this, it was almost right except it wasn't. Like your friend impersonating you, familiar but missing something in the tone. There was this tiny accent, or maybe it was just the cadence, the words spaced wrong. Ladies and gentle persons, this train will stay not operating until further consideration is produced. Thank you for your patience please. My heart thunked hard in my chest. I tried to laugh at it with the guy across the aisle, but he wouldn't meet my eyes. The mom with the stroller shushed her kid, suddenly, way too fast. For a while, nobody moved. I checked my watch, but the minute hand hadn't moved from 6:14. I shook my wrist and held it to my ear, still ticking. The guy in the puffy coat muttered to himself. The 2 college kids stood, whispering now, but their voices flattened out, like the air was thicker here. That's when a weird chill snaked over my neck. I started to notice how the shadows from the flickering lights dragged themselves along the floor, making the car seem longer than it should be. And for the first time all night, I wondered if the subway had ever felt this wrong. That was the first flicker, really. The routine slipping, my sense of control leaking out of me. And we hadn't even been stopped for 5 minutes. Or at least, that's what I thought. My first instinct was to check my phone. The blankness of no bars, no Wi-Fi, no service at all, made my stomach drop just a bit lower. I held it up, half believing that if I tilted it, I'd catch a phantom signal, but there was nothing. The screen reflected my face back at me, slack-jawed and paler than usual from the overhead light, or maybe from something stranger. The guy in the puffy coat tried the same, holding his phone up high, then tucking it away with a muttered, "Of course." A soft hissing slid down the train's windows, not rain now, but condensation, trailing lines like veins across the glass. I checked my watch again, 6:14. Still, I pressed the button on its side and the second hand shuddered, then didn't move. My heart sped. Was this a panic attack? Or was everyone else feeling it too? I looked around. The mom with the stroller was hunched, clutching her child tighter than before, eyes wide and unblinking on the window. The college kids had stopped whispering. Now they stared straight ahead, muscles stiff, hands gripping the pole as if it was the only thing holding them here. Through the flicker, everyone's faces looked a little off, shadows in their eyes, mouths set wrong. I blinked. Maybe it was just the lights. A new panic. Maybe I could walk to the front, knock on the conductor's door, but the silence had turned gluey, thickening with every second. I pushed up from my seat anyway, knees wobbling. The train car felt longer than usual, the door at the end impossibly far. I tried not to think about how the shadows smeared across the floor, reaching for my shoes. That's when I noticed the station map above the seats. I squinted, eyes trying to adjust, but the names were all wrong. Letters drifted, melting into pools of unreadable lines. Kingsall. No. Plover. My home stop, Queensport, now just a river of paint. I looked away fast, chest tightening. My throat was dry. This is not normal, I told myself. This does not happen. The intercom crackled again. White noise hissed, then fizzed out. I clutched the cold metal pole beside me and glanced at the windows. It was too dark past the glass, but my reflection was sharp, clearer than I wanted it to be. Except it wasn't mine. Not quite. My reflection's eyes darted away, anxious, then lingered behind, and for a heartbeat, no, less, I saw a different face over my shoulder. Longer hair, familiar nose. My brother. I whipped around, but behind me, nothing. Just empty seats and a ringing in my ears. Stop it. You're tired, you skipped lunch, it's just stress. Even as I tried to rationalize, the panic built, scratchy in my lungs. The guy in the puffy coat pounded on the door to the next car, but it didn't even rattle. The college kids pressed their faces to the window. The mom was crying now, silent and stiff, face hidden in her hands. Nobody was talking. Every so often, someone would glance up, meet my eyes, and then quickly look away, like they'd rather see anything else than someone else's fear. I tried to breathe, slow and measured. Failed. The car shuddered under me. I ran my thumb over the side of my phone, numb. I could almost imagine my brother sitting beside me, just out of sight, humming under his breath, the way he did as a kid on long trips. I closed my eyes but saw him standing at the other end of the train, his shirt soaked like he'd just walked out of the rain, raising his hand in a wave I never got to return. I flinched away, opening my eyes fast, breath stuttering. Every station sign out the window was unreadable, letters ghosting past like a foreign alphabet. My reflection, no, not mine, his, kept flickering in the glass. The lights buzzed, shadows slipping up the walls. There is something here with us. It knows me. It wants something. The certainty landed hard, suffocating as the air in my chest. I reached up, almost without thinking, and pressed my palm against the cold window, as if maybe my brother's hand was reaching back. The glass gave off a deep, impossible chill. I yanked my hand away, fingers aching. Suddenly, the intercom fizzed. "Thank your subjected patience, please. Stay in containment for the producing." It cut off. Containment, not car, not passengers. The words rolled again, but now there were two voices. One my own, pitched wrong, the other unmistakably my brother's, laughing low and far away. The horror crawled closer. Why me? Why now? My heart thudded, too full of old arguments, things unsaid. I pressed my forehead against my knees, desperate for anything real. Time wasn't working. The train wasn't moving. The world was folding in and showing me what I'd buried. My brother's reflection hovered over my own, lips moving. I knew he wanted me to answer, but for what? The pole dug into my palm as I gripped it. My voice, all I could manage, was a cracked whisper. What do you want from me? The rattling of the train faded. Only the rain, still sliding down, steady and patient, as if it meant to erase me too. My sense of self, my certainty, my routine, my control, was flaking away little by little, leaving just me, the dark, and the thing wearing my brother's face, waiting for my answer. The faces crowd closer, my face, his face, the train's glass bending it all, a funhouse mirror suspended in the dark. That voice again, warped, static, crawled, not machine, not human, tearing through the silence. Jordan, it says, not the word but the memory of it, the way he shouted from the back door that day, gone before I turned, gone into rain. My chest aches, fists balled, shoes slipping on cold tile. My name doesn't sound like mine here. He stands before me now, all wrong. Water drip, drip, dripping from his hair, lips moving, mouthing what I remember, what I said. It'd be better if you just left. Pause. Regret rips me open. I didn't mean it, I never did, but I said it anyway. The train flickers. The other passengers fade, bleed into gray, faces stretched like overexposed film, eyes sliding off me, irrelevant. It's us. Just us. The windows are gone. Black or not black, just absence, thick as syrup. He steps closer. So real I taste copper and rain at the back of my throat. When he speaks, it's two voices in one, no oxygen in the words. You can stay with me. Pause. A crooked smile. Or you can go home and leave me here. I choke. Choice. That's what it wants. That's what it's waiting for, ancient patience sliding beneath its words. But there's no choice. Forgive myself. Just let the weight slip away. Let myself be warm again. I can't. I won't. My brother's gone, and it's my fault, and if I let go, it means he's nothing. A hole in my chest stitched over and over till there's no body left to bleed. Train settling, car shuddering. My palm leaves a print on the window, fading, slick. If I stay, I am nothing. A shadow slumping into the glass, devoured. If I go, I carry him with me, in echoes, in guilt, every dawn and flickering carriage light, endless. I am split, flayed, raw, every nerve drunk on terror. Why does it want this? What does my pain feed? I open my mouth, teeth chattering, voice spilled out, brittle. I'm sorry, I'm so fucking sorry. He vanishes, sudden as a blink. A shrill chime, so piercing it strips muscle from bone. The train lurches, moving, motion, glorious, nauseating. Light crawls up the walls. The faces come back, screaming, gasping, blinking at life, strangers still. My phone vibrates, phantom, 1 bar, 2, voicemail icon blinking dead blue. Hands shaking, I stumble off at Queensport. Torpid rain, sodium-lit platforms, everything too sharp and not sharp, like I've dropped out of a nightmare and can't wake. The sky is bleeding ink. I check my voicemail, thumb heavy, static. Then a laugh, low and impossible, my brother's laugh, rotten with secrets, threading the line. See you soon, Joe. The wind shifts. The world is intact, mostly. The train rattles off, the wrong chime humming in my bones like a promise. I walk home, each step sticky with cold, nothing behind me and everything wrong. Tomorrow I'll board the subway again. I know it, because some part of me never left that tunnel, because the city's veins run too deep, because now the shadow knows my name and the lights will flicker in the mirrors, just so. I'm still here. I'm not sure whose reflection I'm wearing.